Hey guys, this is the Any Thoughts podcast. Once again, it's me, Benny.
Me, Bradley.
Hey, it's me, Amog. How's it going?
Me, Ivy, what's up, y'all?
And we really liked your support on the previous episodes. We once again encourage you to like and subscribe. But with that said, let's start with slaps and chaps. Anyone want to go first?
By you,
I can go
Ivy.
first.
Okay, Mo.
Okay.
All right, so what's slapping is great news, guys. I am not going back to India.
Hell
My
yeah.
my my
I hate
visa
to
got
laugh, I'm sorry.
my visa got extended for another month, and okay, so there are two slaps. So one is that I'm not going back to India because my visa got extended, and the second one is kind of associated with that. So because of this entire coronavirus or coronavirus, it's the exam which I have to give, the second attempt of the Kuwait Society of Engineers, to prove that I'm an engineer, whatever. That exam has been also postponed because everything is closed for like the next 2 weeks over here. So those guys called me up and they're like, yeah, so we're gonna when does your visa expire? So I said it's next month. They're like, okay, yeah, so you don't have to come for the exam. Yalla, fuck off. I'm like, okay, bye. And what's been chapping is I've been kind of neglecting my workout. So because the thing is, I don't really have a like. I actually prefer to like do train in taekwondo, hapkido, and all that martial arts basically. So I haven't had the time to like fully work on that, but I've been kind of neglecting my body. But I recently I decided, I'm like, no, I'm gonna get back into shape again, or more into shape. So yeah, that's what's been chapping me. But I'm gonna turn that around. I'm gonna try to get better. All right, I'm gonna pass the baton on to someone else before I start rambling on.
I'll go next.
Okay.
So what's slapping for me is that my company is having a big barbecue this Thursday, and I am responsible for cooking the ribs and the sausages and some
Damn.
mashed potatoes. So
Okay.
I can't wait. I just got the meat today. Again, hashtag UF Meat Market. Please go there. They are open next Friday. So if you're looking for
Okay.
some meat, go there. A lot of stuff. It's fairly good. It's really goodly priced. And what's been chapping with me, again, being a grad student, now I gotta adjust this coronavirus. All my classes being put online, so now I gotta do twice the amount of work to stay up in class. So that's
Yeah.
really just been a buzzer beater for me. It's just that coronavirus, and then all the things happening with sports. No more NBA, no more recruiting for football, no more soccer, no more baseball, no more anything. So until things clear up, and I don't
Yeah.
know
Rest in
when.
peace, March Madness.
Oh yeah, rest in peace, March Madness, and
R.I.P.
all right. I pass off to my man Ivy. Finish up the rest.
Cool. Yeah, so what's been slapping for me and chapping for me, I would say, is this coronavirus, man. And I'm not saying when I say it's slapping, I'm not saying it's a good thing, but um, because of what's going on, I may not have to work next week. And that gives me more time to focus, on studying and for my exam and all that stuff. So I think that's the good part about it. But that's also the chap because coronavirus is pretty, it's pretty infectious and it stopped all kinds of sports. I don't know if you heard the news today. Disney World closed, and which is wild. I mean, we can't watch NBA, we can't watch football, even soccer in Europe is also on hiatus right now just because of this virus. So that's definitely been slapping chapter for me. Pass it off to Benny.
All right, so what's been slapping for me is once again talking about the physical trainer I'm going to. Like I told you before, I've been having some back problems, but he's been really helping me build kind of the neck muscles because they're kind of atrophied, and my back muscles as well. So my posture has tremendously improved just from walking every day, and doing everything that he asked me to do. So I definitely feel a little better. But Chapin wise, I'm a little under the weather. So that always kind of sucks. But thankfully, it's not Corona. It doesn't feel like I'm gonna die tomorrow, so I think we're good in that regard. Uh, but with that said, wrapping up this segment, we're going to go into our non-serious topic, which is political correctness. For me, I would say I define political correctness as basically saying the non-appropriate thing in a situation where you should be a bit more clean in your speaking. I think that's the best definition I can give it. It's like you don't want to yell "fuck" in the middle of a job interview. But with that said, I mean, if we're talking about life, I personally feel like the only person who can judge you for being politically correct is yourself. Like you should be happy with what you say and you shouldn't be overbearing. Like there's a fine line between being like, "Oh, I'm not politically correct," and being just a fucking asshole. There's a middle ground there. And that's what I really want to broach with it. What is this middle ground? What do you think is exceeding the expectation or exceeding the limit of being politically correct? Like that's something I want to talk about. Like when is it appropriate to not be politically incorrect?
Well, I can actually talk about that. You know how these terms exist. So they're like police person. Now everybody's like, oh, we don't want to say police person. We don't want to say policeman. We want to say police person. I'm like, you could just say that they're associated with the police. Or, for that instance, like everybody says chairman. No, like they used to say chairman. I mean, these are just titles, guys. If a woman is with the police, you could just say she's with the police. You don't have to say that she's a policeman. I mean, I don't really honestly care. I was like, these are just like topics. These are just titles, guys. These are just titles. So honestly, I don't know why it's like, or it's another thing. Like, okay, so I can understand that they want to be treated like. I understand that women want to be treated on the same. I think that is the main motive behind feminism, that women want to be treated on par with men, and I think that is the whole fight behind feminism. And I don't want to get into that. So that's why certain titles offend these women, because they're like, oh, there's a man in it, but man in that term. And I honestly don't like. I honestly just realize that, oh, these are just terms. These are just titles. You don't have to take that. You don't have to take it like so. You don't have to be like, oh, there's a man in it. We have to remove that man and say person now, so we can incorporate everyone in it. I'm like, guys, it's just a title. It doesn't really matter. I think it's yeah.
No, I actually, it's a good thing you mentioned that, because I guess in the case I'm about to mention, it is an example of political correctness. But so I'm from South Florida, and me and a couple of friends, usually when I go back home, we usually go to a restaurant back home. It's called Flanagan's. They have great ribs, great meals, blah, 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 all that. So anyways, we were there once, and one of the waitress, all right, I'm going to say it was a waiter that was there. And she asked for an order, or she asked us for an order and all that. Things were cool. She came back, gave us like our drinks and stuff. And then one of the guys, I guess, referred to her, said like, he just said her or she, like in the conversation, something like that. And she was like, "Oh no, you have no right to refer to me as that. I'm an it. That's the only way you can refer to me."
What the
blah blah blah. And I'm just thinking, like, okay, I know it's 2020, and we all have like 1.5 million different genders, but you can't get on somebody's case about that. That's what I think political correctness is kind of going overboard a little bit.
That's like that
Yeah.
GameStop video.
What do you guys think? Yeah.
I mean, that I agree. Like, I mean, sure, if you identify as his, her, it,
They,
points,
we,
yeah, they, we, I don't know, if you're
us.
incorporating your million personalities within you, and I respect that. That's fine. It's okay. You can be James McAvoy from
Split.
Just that movie, Split. It's fine. You can incorporate your 24/25 personalities. That's great. Again, not I'm not again I'm not making fun of mental. This is not me making fun of people with dissociative identity disorder or any of that stuff, or multiple personality disorder. I'm just saying that, if you want to identify that way, that's fine. That's up to you. But don't crucify someone else for not
Yeah,
understanding that.
exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
oh, you're a
It's just
woman.
that GameStop video that it's like it's called me her ma'am or
Oh
something like
yeah,
that.
that was
You know,
ridiculous. Yeah.
but I mean
I saw
like
that.
it's like I could understand why that individual got upset when it happened the second or third time. But it's like the first time like you got that upset and then like the ending of that video was like I'll show you what a man is outside. That made me laugh.
Yeah,
But I'll hand it off to Brad for right now.
yeah. I think there are a couple of ways you can handle this. Political correctness, really, it's changed. What was politically correct now was not politically correct back in like the 1990s. And as
Yeah.
time changed, people change, and like everybody else is saying, and everybody else kind of concluding is that make sure give people a time to learn and don't crucify them if they make a mistake. Politely say, "Hey, I like to be referred as whatever the case may be." And I'm African American. This happened to me a lot. I'm not sure it's happened to you, Benny, or to you, Iverson, or maybe even you, Amog. Well, a white person, again, no judgment, is come up to you and say, "Hey, what can I call you?" Because I don't want to
Yeah.
offend you by calling you African American, black. Look, I'm cool being called black. I think black's fine. But again, there's some other people. I know a couple of Haitians. Haitian people don't really like being called black. They want to be called Afro Cubans or Afro or Haitians or whatever the case may be. And again,
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people, it doesn't hurt to ask and say, "Hey, what can I refer you as?" If you're not sure, or you can say, "Is it? Can I call you? Can I say, are you a ma'am? Are you a sir?" Again, it doesn't hurt to ask that question if you meet somebody for the first time and if you have that question in your head. This actually, and then again, there's tons of people out there. There's people going through transition from being a man to being a man going to a female, or from a female to being a man. And so, we're going to experience. You may not have an experience like that when you're dealing with somebody who is in that transition phase. But if you do, just be polite. And if you are going through that transition phase, I understand that sometimes it is hard. Like you told the last five guys, the last five people earlier that would refer to me as it or whatever the case may be. But this one person just asked you, and now you're just going off on him. I get that. We've all been there. It's the same thing with white people talking to black people. Like some white people told me, like, I'm scared to approach black people because I don't know how to refer them as. Well, you can always politely ask them, "Hey, can I call you African? Is it polite for me to call you Afro American? If not, they'll say
Yeah.
no. Refer me as something else." And I'll let I pass off my
Yeah.
man Mo get something to say real quick.
Okay, so I have this funny incident. I was with one of my closest friends. He and his parents are white. He's white, so it was in Florida, and I was it was I think this was in December 18, and around the time around the time like I was almost done with my course. And I was staying with him and his family over for Christmas, and he and his family is very open minded. They're very nice people, and I love them. And they took me out to meet another set of his friends, another set of their family friends. I was hanging out with them, and they were like, "Oh, so you're Indian?" And they just made an offhand joke about North Americans, like Native Americans and Indians, and they're like, and then because the thing was the next day, we went to throw hatchets, and because because I have great aim. I was making like with every hatchet throw, I was just getting better, like just bullseyes, and it was pretty good. And so like one of the family friends just made an offhand statement. He's like, "Are you sure you're like from India? If we knew any better, you'd be like, you should just be wearing feathers and just going woo." And I was like, and I looked around it, and like there was just awkward silence, and I was like,
That's a
I'm
no,
like,
honey.
I'm like, like I would have like, and I would have laughed about it. I would have laughed, and I did actually. I like the only thing I did was, I think in that situation was just awkward laughter, and I'm the king of laughing in awkward situations. I did laugh, and I just brushed it on this thing. I'm like, no, I mean we prefer on the dot over feathers. Just saying. Like we like multiple hands and on the dot kind of gets me off, not like feathers in my hair and stuff. But hey, whatever gets people off nowadays. And I just brushed it off, and I just like changed the topic because like had this situation, because that guy had like that person had just started blabbering because it was so much awkward silence. And like they were like, oh, but, and then they started like, it's like, I love it how people try to justify what they're saying, and they just dig their grave even further when there's awkward silence. Like it's a great psychology trick too. Like let somebody say something really
just be
stupid,
quiet.
and then just be quiet and just watch, and just like fold your arms and just be like, and they will say the
I'll wait
most
for you to respond.
stupidest shit. Yeah, like they will say the most stupidest shit to the point where you're like, now I can just butcher this person with all the ammunition that this person has provided me, and then you just load it into the artillery gun and just go off.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
in your
You just take your
situation,
time.
it was something that was offensive, like that would be
Yeah.
offensive for any Indian person. But I mean, what do we do with people who are just offended by everything? Like you make a joke and then people are like, oh, because like that also is a form of political correctness.
Yeah.
Like
I
I
mean-
remember I made this random joke one time. I think it was like statics class or whatever, and I had a group of friends and like this one girl I didn't know yet. And like I think we were just talking about random shit, and I made a joke about like, don't you just hate it when you fall asleep underwater? And like I was joking about drowning, and like everybody at the table got it but her, and then later she looked at me like, what the fuck, bro?
I mean, with that, I mean, sometimes it's a couple things with jokes. Everybody's laughing until it's them they're laughing at. You gotta have thick skin. Like you can make a joke about any situation in the whole entire world. People have, and it's been successful. But some people just need to have a thick skin. Like the whole Dave Chappelle comedy thing that happened on Netflix a couple months ago. Like I loved it. But I can see where other people may have issues with it because he touches certain topics that people may not think he's qualified to talk about. But I found it funny. I found it very enlightening, and it caused me to dig deeper and understand why he's saying that. Again, sometimes having a thick skin and being okay. Look, not everybody is going to know exactly what to say and say at a perfect time every single day. There's going to be mistakes. There's going to be slip ups, and again, this is something that's we're in a new world today. Like take this back 20, 30 years ago. We wouldn't be having the same conversation about worrying about he, she, it, us, we, they. We'll be like he and she, and that's it. But nowadays, it's all about being inclusive. It's all about talking and being fair with everybody.
Another thing.
I definitely agree with Brad.
Another thing that just a quick thing which it just came to my mind. It's a lot of people get crucified for just voicing their opinions or voicing their thoughts, and yeah, and I don't get it. It's just an opinion. I do not have to be an expert on the topic to just voice an opinion. See, on the other end of the spectrum, you don't have to also voice your opinion all the times because your opinion can be offensive.
Yeah.
But again, also freedom of speech, guys. Think
it's
about
a fair
it. Like,
balance.
it should be a fair balance, exactly. Like, okay, I can let's put it in simple terms. If I don't like beer, I should not be crucified for not liking beer. But I do like a gin and tonic, which everybody else also likes. So fine, let me enjoy my gin and tonic in peace. Do not fucking crucify me for just not liking beer. However, I will judge a person for not liking beer because, dude, it's a great drink. But that's fine. It's everybody's entitled to having, their own likes, their own dislikes. It's like cologne. You're gonna like a little, you're gonna like something, you're gonna like something strong, you're gonna like
Yeah.
something not so strong. So it's fine. You're just. I think we should. I think, but I think we're moving towards a society, and I'm at least I'm optimistic about this. I think we're moving towards a society where everybody is maybe opening up to the fact that let everybody voice their opinions. Just don't. But then of course there's that small part of the society that wants to crucify everyone for even voicing their opinions.
I mean, look at the whole James Gunn situation. What happened to him? From him making jokes like 9 years ago, somebody bringing that up and how that affected him.
Yeah, and like Kevin Hart also, like even Kevin Hart, like he made some really homophobic comments, and
He
I don't
apologized.
like, and he apologized for it, and okay, maybe it was inappropriate, but I
At
mean,
the time, it was seen as normal.
yeah, exactly. And of course, I mean, dude, he lost out on hosting the Oscars. Imagine the Oscars being hosted by Kevin Hart, man. That
Yeah,
should
it
that
was
should
pretty
have that should have been good. I remember the time he hosted Justin Bieber, and I was like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, then shouldn't people, to avoid this outrage culture, just say what's on their mind, even if people are going to get pissed off?
I
Because at
mean,
the end of the day, you can't really control people's opinion on things.
you can't. I mean, to me, it all comes down to having a thick skin. People are gonna talk shit about you to the day you die, or even after you die. You know, you just have to be
Exactly.
able just to handle it and be like, that's how life unfortunately is. And I think at the point, and maybe it's human nature just to talk shit and just to talk weight and to voice our own opinions the way we want to voice our own opinions. But as an individual, you have to be okay. Look, this is a double-edged sword. I can say what I want to say, but they can say what they want to say. You gotta be understand that and be like, okay, sometimes my opinion isn't gonna be the best opinion out there, and sometimes it is, and live with it.
Which is why I made that comment about thick girls. And then some people,
Call back.
which see, that's the thing. Like, this is what I want to address.
back.
And like, since we were on the topic a little earlier, this is why I made that comment about thick girls. That
Yeah,
I
please
don't,
so.
I, I don't, I don't like it. It's okay. It's my opinion. I don't like. But I'm all for. See, here's the thing. But I'm not saying that when I say thick women, I'm talking about now in my head. I'm talking about fat people or morbidly obese people. I'm not talking about like women with curves. Here, there is a difference, and I'm going to say it as it is. Obesity is a fucking pandemic. It's almost, I will say, it's obviously one level below Corona, because Corona is,
But
This
clean,
is the Any Thoughts podcast where we talk about obesity being the killer of all things.
dude. I mean, literally, think about it. It gives you
Watch
hypertension,
out.
heart attack,
Wash your hands for obesity.
diabetes. I mean, like,
Yeah. Like,
don't just wash your hands. Stop fucking eating. Don't just wash your hands, dude. Don't just wash your hands.
See, if people listen to Mo's opinion, then we have an epidemic for anorexic people.
Dude, I diet. Listen, I diet, and I have, like, okay, here's the thing. My dad is a doctor, so okay, my dad. See, I'm not trying to fat shame someone. That is something which I'm definitely not trying to do. But let's face it, obesity is a killer, and it is a pandemic, and we need to address it. And dude, let's think about it. In the US,
it's horrible.
In the US, it's horrible.
Like kids
and
getting type
not
2
just
diabetes, man.
Yeah, and not just US. It's the same all over the world. It's terrible in India because most of the Indian food is high calorific food. So now here, but see, here's the thing. Now when I talk about like horizontally challenged people, see, this is where political correctness got me fucked up. I can't say fat people anymore because a fat person is like, how dare you call me fat?
Hey,
Bitch,
it's
I'm
big
fat.
boned. Big boned.
Yeah, big bone if you're talking about women.
When I think of big boned, I think of people who are like over 6 feet too. I'm sorry. That's big boned. That's big boned. That's the only definition of big boned I know.
South Park says otherwise.
Yeah, when is it okay to be like a mug in politically correctness? All the time.
Exactly.
I mean, here's the thing. If you cannot see, like, for guys, if you cannot see your dick because your paunch exists, maybe it's a problem.
Yeah, maybe you should work with that.
Yeah, maybe you really need to work on that. Get it, like really.
this
I'm always like Peter Griffin and Homer Simpson shouldn't be your model in life.
Yeah,
actually
that
Homer is just chubby. I don't even feel like he's obese. Like he's just fat. You know what I mean? Like he has a BMI of over 25.
Peter Griffin is fat.
But not over 30.
Peter Griffin is fat.
Peter probably
Go
has
ahead.
a 32.
Go on, man. Mo, you were saying something?
Wait, but oh wait, no, Mo, go ahead.
No, it's okay. But I just basically made my point that I just think that we need to certain topics just need to be addressed as they are, because I mean, of course, like think about it, if they're health issues, and you have certain health issues, and they're causing problems within, like if they're causing problems in the way you normally function, they need to be addressed as they are. Schizophrenia needs to be addressed as it is. I am not saying make fun of people who are schizophrenics. I'm not saying make fun of or any exactly, or mental issues of any type. You need to address them. So the only way to address them is as they are head on.
Mhm.
You cannot. I'm not saying that you make fun of these people, or you're not calling them out. You are addressing them, and you're addressing these issues. So here is where political correctness doesn't make sense. You have to be straightforward and forthright about it.
Yeah,
And that
honesty.
is
Yeah, honesty is the best policy, and sometimes honesty hurts because you're telling people the truth, and the
Exactly.
truth doesn't care whether you're political doesn't like political correctness. The truth is what the truth is. Hey, you're overweight. Hey, you have this mental issue. Hey, you have this problem. That's the truth. And just to kind of bring it back towards political correctness. I mean, there's been times where I'm pretty sure you guys all over Instagram. Like girls who say, I only go after guys who are 6'1" and above, or whatever the case may be. We've met girls I've met girls like that before in my life. And hey,
the
she's
the
morbidly
3 6s,
obese.
guys. The 3 6s, guys. Remember that shit?
I know the 3 Fs too.
We ain't talking about Illuminati. We're talking about the 3 6s. Go ahead.
Or we're
you
not
guys
talking
are
about
from the
we're not talking about Satan either, guys. We're not talking about
the
Satan.
3 6s deserves to be its own topic. You know what I mean?
Have you guys heard about the
That's
3 Fs
true.
though?
What?
3Fs?
The 3 Fs.
3Fs.
If you ain't fucking me, if you ain't feeding me, if you ain't financing me, get the fuck out.
Fuck.
That's the 3
What the
Fs.
fuck? Oh, I thought that was I literally thought those were the grades she got because she's not focusing on her classes. Because she's busy on,
Hey.
or he, for that matter, is too much on OnlyFans, or
Yeah,
Snapchat.
OnlyFans, just gotta
Oh
pay a
man.
couple bucks to get on that site.
So I guess for this next topic, is this a random chill hour with the boys, real quick. So we're just gonna talk about random topics, guys. I think we're kind of finished with our political correctness. We may come back to it later, but right now we're just gonna shoot the shit and just talk about anything that pops in our heads. OnlyFans, let's go.
OnlyFans.
Son,
I was on Tinder, dude. I was on Tinder the other day. Sorry. I don't mean to hijack this, but this is
Amazon, bro.
Yeah, I was on. Sorry, Tinder / Amazon
Prime.
Prime. Welcome to my TED Talk, guys. Welcome to my TED Talk. So I was on Amazon Prime, and I was doing my window shopping, and suddenly I match with one potential shopper, or investor, as I like to call them. And she, like, I was like, hey. So then you have to start off a conversation. You don't want to be a simp. I don't want to be a simp. So I was like, hey, how's it going? She's like, do you want to purchase my adult video content on a premium Snapchat / OnlyFans? She literally off the bat, nothing, no, none of that. Hi, how's it going? It was just like, hey, do you want to just like, do you want to see my pussy?
I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna lie. She has an excellent marketing plan.
Yeah, honestly, she does. Because, like, imagine those lonely nights when you're on Tinder, and then she's just like, "Hey, I have the option for you.
I have this option for you. Like, this is like, guys, this is the scheme." And I was just like, yeah, I'm single, not desperate, but good luck. And like I just unmatched. I'm like, dude, but see, here's the thing. Like, I make this. Guys, I think this is something we should all follow, except for like some people who are okay with it. Don't pay for sex.
Don't even pay for porn, bro.
I mean, okay. Actually, that's where it's debatable because I have paid
Yeah, to the
for. No, here's the thing.
Listen, man. Listen, I'm trying to save you. You're digging a hole right now. Listen.
No. Here's the thing.
I'm trying to throw some rope more, but I only got so much rope I can throw down that hole you're digging.
No, here's what I have done. I will say this. I did take this is only for a year, and I think I removed that membership from.
What?
Hear me out. You guys know the porn the porn site Sis Loves Me, right?
What?
Wait, what?
Listen, no, please.
I want to talk about this. No, you're
okay. Now we're gonna have listeners that are gonna be looking this stuff up.
Yeah, no.
Continue.
Alabama wants to know your location.
No, so it's basically like stepsisters. They, I know it's really inappropriate, but
I know which category you listen or watch.
Right now.
I'm just listen 1 second. I'm not watching it because it's stepsisters. I'm not watching it because it's sisters. I'm not into incest. Is wrong, guys. I'm not.
You're
I'm
just
not
into your. You're just into your petite girls that look like your stepsisters.
No, I don't have stepsisters. What I'm trying to say is the artists in those videos are absolutely gorgeous. Dude, Lana Rhoades, Kimmy Granger. I like these artists. And what? What?
Go on.
Basically what I'm trying to say is I took a membership because, and it also has like some of my favorite artists, and it has some like both.
They're like musicians. They have my favorite artists.
Here's the thing. I don't like calling them porn stars because that's dehumanizing them, and I don't like dehumanizing them. I know I call them artists. Because what they do is also an art. Trust me. Taking more than 6 inches of dick in one go is like, I'm like, bro, that's art, in my opinion. Like, whoa. How do you do that, lady?
It's called acting. It's acting. I'm sorry.
It's called deep throating, Brad. Don't call it what it is. Linda Lovelace did it, and then everybody.
Wait, then why don't you just call them porn stars then?
I don't know. It's just this thing with well, actually,
call it like it is, bro.
Well,
fair enough. I mean, no, that is what I don't call them. They're not sex workers. It's a mutual
sex.
No, but it's that's the thing. But both but that's the thing.
Sex.
They're glorified prostitutes, pretty much.
Yeah. They're just sexual artists.
They get paid. They get paid for having sex.
That's a lot of money.
I mean,
if you're on your knees, you're working, bro.
And they got health insurance. They got better health insurance than I do.
Fair enough.
If you think about it, like,
but here's the thing. I don't know why there's so much stigma. But that's the thing. I don't get why there's so much stigma behind it. Like,
I don't care. I wish. To me, if you ask me, it's kind of going a little bit off script. But I think strip houses, strippers, that's kind of a half measure. We should really let this go full, because if you want to have that sort of business model, then don't make it illegal.
That's another thing which I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, because we could totally get rid of tier 3 Eugenes with like legal prostitution.
Exactly. Like literally, dude. We can turn it into that's the thing, right? In Holland, if I'm not mistaken, or is it?
Yes.
In Belgium, right?
Yeah.
Belgium, Amsterdam.
Yeah, Amsterdam.
Yeah, right. So it's legal. Weed is legal. They have a dedicated red light district, for all this, and there's no stigma associated with it. They have great health benefits. They have great insurance, and some of these, and it's all sponsored by the government. And think about it, crimes against women are literally at an all-time low over there. And if you really think about it, if these crimes with women, towards women, or towards some of the stuff which we hear on a regular basis, and I hear it in India, and it really sets me off.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It's really fucked up. I mean, like 2-year-old like my niece is 2 years old, and like I'm petrified. I am petrified when I hear stuff like, oh, a 2-year-old got raped and murdered. I'm like,
You
what the
got,
fuck, man?
Yeah.
unfortunately, like you got a lot of sexually repressed guys in that area that their culture won't allow them to express themselves who they really are. They could be gay, or they could just really they never had that outlet to really let themselves go, and it's kind of like a volcano. Eventually, it's gonna just explode out, and people are gonna get hurt in the process.
Yeah, so this is something which I want to like.
Imagine being 30 and never seeing anything.
Yeah, like there's probably some guys out there who are just single and just can't take it anymore, and just like the next person I see, that's it. I'm just going for it.
Yeah, but that's not a justification that
It's
you're
not.
30 and like you can't get your shit together.
Yeah, I mean that's on you,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's on you as
exactly.
an individual. I mean, but
I mean, like, I do think that's justification enough for them to open prostitute houses to avoid that.
I mean,
Yes, that I agree. Like you just need
yeah.
you need to just sometimes and like that's another thing. Like I don't understand this ban with porn either. Like you need to let loose. I don't get it. Like I don't understand this. That under the it's there's a blanket ban in on porn. No, it's a thing. Like in Kuwait, there's a ban on porn, and I'm like, yeah, and on any kind of porn. And I'm like, just because I mean, sure, Sharia law doesn't allow for it, and see, my only problem with any religion is that religion should not tell you how to live your life. It should just give you a guideline on how you should live your life. Don't tell
Yeah.
me how to live my life, because the moment you start telling, because apparently if I this is not me personally, I'm just giving an example. If I jerk off 8 times a day, if I'm going to like that
I mean, I
that's
bet you did with that
just the
Sis
skin
Love
off
Me,
your
bro.
hand just gone, Amo. There's no skin on your hand anymore, man. It's bone.
it's just bone at that point. But if you
I mean,
jerk
you're
off
trying to
8 times,
single-handedly defeat the coronavirus,
Exactly. No
yeah,
hands.
because yeah,
You're trying to defeat it 8 times a day. You're trying to defeat it 8 times a day.
yeah, but then like if I'm doing it 8 times a day, that's my choice. That's my this thing. I should not be crucified for it, or I shouldn't be said. So nobody should tell me that, oh, you're jerking off 8 times a day. That's not good.
But
I'm like,
he put you on the spot, Amog. You don't pay for movies, but you'll pay for Sis Love Me.
I do pay for movies. What made you think that I don't pay for movies? I pay for movies.
Wait,
Look,
did
man,
you see the Japanese
Yeah, I do.
version though of Endgame
I mean,
before it came out?
hey, yo, stop it. Stop it. Don't
Listen.
Listen.
listen,
The pokey house, all right?
listen. I
Don't
could not
do that.
resist. Listen, Endgame, I could not resist. But that's not. But and not to mention, I do watch certain movies which are worthwhile in theaters. Case in point, and we did watch Endgame together. We did cry when Tony Stark died, and we all cried. Okay, so let's face it, I do watch movies together with this thing. I just like to do research because I don't want to watch a trash movie and be like,
Yes, research,
I don't want to go to.
thing.
Yeah,
I
it's
call that
research. It's called research. There's nothing wrong in it. I watched it twice.
Now read a review. Now I'm about the whole entire thing for free.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: you can never really trust. Here's why you cannot really trust trailers, because Captain Marvel, the trailer was much better than the movie. Not gonna lie. I was
decent movie.
I think it was okay. It was an okayish movie, but having said that, the reviews that came out, reviews weren't so great about Captain Marvel. People were like, "Oh, she's serious all the time. Oh, she doesn't smile." I'm like, dude, she's one of the strongest Avengers.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
And that's one of the things I also hear. Like, women should smile more. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, no.
Yeah, like, dude, shut the fuck up. Seriously, like, you don't see Tony Stark smiling every time he's like blasting an enemy. Like, hey, bitch. Hey,
Like-
bitch.
Like, what if some random
Guys, just a
person
minute.
like,
Guys, just a minute. I'll just be back.
well, yeah, but like, what if some random person you're having a bad day, some woman comes up to you and say, "Hey, smile, more, honey." I'm just
Wait,
like,
what?
Like, what if you're like walking down the street and you're having a bad day, something happened to you, and some girl walks up to you and says, "Hey, you should smile more, honey." Like, dude, like, like, come on,
Yeah,
man.
I'll be like, you're like, okay, whatever, and then just walk off.
Yeah, like, dude, like, shut the fuck up. But no, man, it's just, like, I don't know, like, what else you guys want to talk about right now? I mean, we still got some more time left. Mo, you got any?
This is a short topic, but I was just thinking about this
Go
because we were
ahead,
talking
man.
about OnlyFans and stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
shout out to our boy The Games on Instagram.
He,
That's
hey,
probably the
follow
funniest
his
page.
OnlyFans account. Follow his OnlyFans account.
He does have an OnlyFans account, but I remember
Which
he
is
put
very
up.
strange that he has an
For the memes,
OnlyFans account. Like,
for the memes, baby, the memes.
It's for the memes. Hey, some people love memes, man. A lot.
Hey,
They're willing to pay for it. But no, like I was just thinking about this. He had a funny meme, and it was about like, oh, when she posts about like her anxiety or something about that, and it's like a booty pic.
Yeah.
and then
like,
like in the caption he was just like, yeah, baby, talk about that anxiety. Just he's like,
Okay.
oh, while I get myself off. Like, what
I'm
do you
not gonna
guys
lie.
like? What do you guys think about that? Do you guys think that's genuine, or like is that just to get another like those long paragraphs like Instagram models?
Wait, but I mean,
I
are you
think
talking
it's-
about the anxiety, or are you talking about?
Just yeah, the
like,
anxiety.
like girls
Yeah.
posting pics, like thirst traps kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like,
Yeah, thirst traps was
again,
like, yeah.
and this is a callback to our first episode. I mean, I think it's just attention at the end of the day. I mean, it's just they want to know that they still got it. That no matter how they feeling, whether they're feeling sad, mad, happy, glad, they can still get thirsty dudes to come up and knock on their door like.
I mean, and they're also
Hey,
looking for
I can
the
help you
yes
with the anxiety.
queens.
Yes. I'm just like, listen, I understand. If you have a girlfriend, you love her, hey, go ahead, call her yes queen all you want. But if it's some random girl on the internet that you have no idea who she is, you never met her in real life, why the hell are you doing that for?
You know, my favorite quote for what you're talking about, Brad, is like, if you treat her like a celebrity, she's gonna treat you like a fan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I mean, in that sense, like, it definitely is. I think for glorification if they're feeling down. It's the same thing. Like, I don't know if you've ever been on Reddit, but like, there's plenty of women who post their bits in private parts on Reddit just for gratification. I mean, that's taking it like an extra step farther. But I mean, like, Instagram is just that, but it's just random booty shot, and then it's like, oh, let me see how many likes I can get.
Exactly.
Or it's essentially, or I mean, there's another thing which I've noticed with it. Like they do marketing by getting naked, and I'm like, why are you posing with a water bottle? I'm probably not going to drink water out of.
Yeah. Why are you posing some Bang energy drink? All right, I don't want that.
I don't want exactly like or Monster. Like I'm like, I don't want any of these drinks. I'm not going to drink any of this. I don't drink energy drinks for this precise reason because they contain way too much caffeine. I'm just saying, guys.
You know, buy my CBD gummies that are focused right on my asshole.
Yeah. or they're in our cleavage, something like that.
Or it's like stuff like my bath water. You guys know that shit, right? That's scam right there, dude. Like she apparently she sold that thing, and here's the thing: she sold that thing.
Sold out.
One guy bought it, he drank it, and he's now he probably died from drinking that stuff.
No, there were
that's what you
that
get.
He got herpes.
That's I don't know about herpes, but apparently he died from drinking salt water, or like from drinking bath water, and I'm like,
because it has fucking salt in it.
No, it's because I mean bath salt.
It smelled like fish. That's why.
Jesus.
Continue.
I'm just like, yo, if you got money to spend on bath water, well, fuck, man. I mean, stick the money in the fucking fire, honestly. Like, some girl, like, you're in America, she's in Britain, Europe. You're going to pay shipping and handling for that to get flown or on a ship, credit to your house. I'm just like, dog, like you have too much money in your hands if you're doing that, honestly.
Honestly, that was the moment the coronavirus spread. It was just living dormant in that man's life. And then one day it just evolved into what's happening right now.
He was patient zero. But no, it's just like, I mean, guys and girls are gonna get away with the most easiest way they can. That's how people are. If they can still give you the same product but cut corners here and there, they will still do that. And that's what sometimes these people do online, both guys and girls. It's probably tons of promotional guys flexing with their pecs and abs, saying, "Buy this new workout plan I made," or "Do this." I mean, all that's fine and dandy. It's just like, listen, man, you don't need something to like all this. You can just have like a shirt, talk to me like a person,
that's another thing. They do that a lot with Blue Chew also. Like this is another thing which I noticed. It's like Blue Chew sponsors Logan Paul's podcast, and I'm like, really? You're essentially what you're basically saying is you want somebody like Logan Paul to get hard, fuck someone, and produce a child and bring another idiot into the world. That's what you're basically telling. That's what you're essentially.
And you
That's
know
what you're
what?
passing
Yeah.
the message
And
around.
you know what? The views be sensational. He may do a deal with Pornhub, and then he
No,
may.
and that's the thing. Like, there's apparently okay. So there's another page on Pornhub which is called Hot Guys Fuck, and apparently they have like it's no. Here's the thing, and I'll tell you why it's so
Is
funny.
this free too? For
Yeah,
our
this is
viewers?
free.
Oh,
Yeah, this is free. It's
That's great to know, Mug.
Please, viewers over 18, go at your own risk. This is not a sponsorship. This is not an endorsement. This is just the views and opinion of one solo person in our podcast group.
Listen, man.
Go on,
I know the stuff I know. I know you do stuff with your right hand and left hand sometimes. So you don't need to get all prudish
Hey, man,
and holier than thou on me. I'm
between
just
me and
saying.
Jill's none of your business.
Is your left hand Jack? Just saying.
Look, I know
Just
it's
ask.
lonely in Kuwait, but still.
Yes. Anyways, that's not the point. The point is that they have these like before the actual clip of them do like college guys just going to town on these women. There are there's like an actual like a 15-20 second montage of like this get hard pill. It's literally called Get Hard or I'm Too Hard or something like that. And it just goes on for like 20 minutes, 20 seconds, and it's the most irrational, nonsensical thing about like it's like one guy. It's literally okay. I'll paint a picture for you guys, and you guys tell me how rational it is. It's like two guys. They have like
You have the
they're like
not never go on a mug.
it's just like two guys holding a rubber band, and like one guy jumps on it, and then he uses that like he jumps like he's just like they push him, and he jumps onto the bed, and like you can see like his phallus erect, and then like that turns into like him flying in the like going like flying in space naked, but as naked, and like this spin, and then like you can like see his like erect phallus, and I'm just like it's like the most weirdest fucking video I have ever seen, and I'm just like, what is going on, man? What is this?
I can't wait for the e-girl that sells like her own version of condoms. Like I'm waiting for that moment. Like
Hey man,
once that moment
it's
happens,
coming. That brand deal's coming soon. That
Yeah,
brand
no,
deal's coming.
I think at that
Choju's
moment
gonna
that's when
sponsor
God
us.
gives up on humanity if he hasn't already.
Yeah,
I think he
Choju's
probably
gonna
has.
sponsor
That's why the
us.
coronavirus is. I think that's why you're going to see more pandemics over the years.
but you know
Yeah,
what?
the
You know what's
Wuhan
crazy
virus.
though? You know what's crazy?
What's crazy, Anderson?
So I was actually in Tallahassee this past weekend, and me and my brother we went to one of the bars there. I was visiting my cousin. He was getting initiated into his fraternity. We were there at night, and me and my brother we were talking. And we're like, "Yo, like we're in Tallahassee, capital Florida. For those who aren't in Florida, it's the capital. We're gonna probably see some politicians out here, and there's probably a really high like sugar daddy population out here." And I was like, that's probably true. So we were out there, and they were like older dudes. Like it was weird, dude. Like there was one guy, he had to be like 50, 60. He was probably taking, maybe he told his wife, I'm going out with the boys or something. But he was just sitting at the bar, and then some young girl came up to him, and he kissed her on the forehead, and she went back to her friend. It was the weirdest thing. But no,
Son,
like
I'm trying to find some sugar mama. I ain't judging. I wish I was that girl right there. Damn.
I mean, you could just get railed by all the dudes in Leon County.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Man,
I think we went there.
Leon County it's a rough place, but You better watch your significant other. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Shout out to Leon County.
I was just thinking like, and that story pretty much doesn't have anything to do with what I'm about to say, but kind of, like going back to like beta males and simps, like they're all ages. You know, they're not just. I mean, when we think about it, we usually think people like in their 20s because you know we're around that age group. But they're like 50, 60-year-olds who are willing to like do these things. Like you have females on OnlyFans, and you may have like a few young guys that do it, but it's usually, you know, a good amount of older guys, like 50 or 60, who are like, oh, I want something to do at night, you know, something to look at. So that's one thing to know. Like betas and simps could be of all ages. I don't know what you guys think about that.
You're a beta at 1 year old, you know, always crying for titties. No, but you're right. I mean, like, my thing with OnlyFans is like, we were talking about this earlier, and it's like you have to pay to be on the website just to browse, and then you have to pay to find the person that you like. Mm-hmm. And I'm just kind of like, why go through all the trouble?
You doing that?
You literally have Google in the palm of your hands. Go find another way to relieve yourself. You know, but that's really like. I mean, like,
I guarantee you.
Sure,
I guarantee you can find 10 girls look just like her.
Yeah,
10 girls. Like, sure. You can find just like her.
The thing is, like, if you really want to pay for something, pay for that lifetime subscription that Pornhub has. You know, like, just pay for that, and then, like, you know, like, you'll have a happy life.
You get so much more. But
You'll have a fappy life. You'll have a fappy life.
Exactly.
Yeah, with Pamela.
But I don't know, maybe because maybe interaction, because I think you can chat with people on OnlyFans, so there's more interaction with that versus on, you know, other like other websites that don't do that. So maybe that's why. But just like, dog, like I still wouldn't do that. Me personally, maybe because I just don't want to waste my money.
Like back in my head, like what does that interaction do for you? Like really sit there and think about it. Like, really, what does it do for you? You know, like, oh, man, she said hello, thank you for paying for my bills today, Dad. Like, you know, like, is that, you know, like, you know, like, is that what you need in your life? You know, like, is that the thing that really is making your day? Because if it is, I'm sorry for you.
Yeah, no, but just to kind of wrap things up, I feel like we're going a little bit over time. Please, you guys, don't use OnlyFans. There's plenty of other sites you can do to have some fun.
That are free.
You know, that are free.
You know, free. You know, just type in the word we all know. You know how to spell.
I believe it rhymes with porn.
Then like you know, then just scroll to page 10. You know, because we all know everybody's picky. You know, and you'll find something new and exciting. You know,
page 350 is also good. Just saying.
Honestly, I would encourage this. This is gonna be kind of wholesome, but you know, kind of wrapping things up. Okay, like you know, you do these things to kind of like relieve yourself, whatever. But honestly, man, like you guys should just get out of the house. You know, like get out of the house, like hang out with some friends, and that's the perfect place to meet. You know, females, like the gym or wherever, you know. So
gym, bars.
But if you are the type,
shopping,
and they'll
if you are the type to pay for OnlyFans, I suggest you scrub one out before you leave society. You go to society. You know, just gonna put that out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but, and don't just scrub one out. Just scrub a few out, just in case.
Yeah, then wash your hands.
And no
corona. But a couple of housekeeping things. I know we did this earlier. We're thinking about having a sort of special. If we can get a certain subscriber amount, we may do either one or two things. Have a live Q&A between all of us, so you can ask us live questions. And also, secondly, a possible watching a very shitty movie and hearing our review and our reaction to it. Maybe even a drunk watching of it and having you guys see us do that.
Interesting.
And for that to happen, we need you guys to continue to subscribe and tell your friends about us. And please, please, please email us any questions you may have for us for upcoming topics, upcoming episodes.
You can
Yeah.
also write it in the comment sections of YouTube. Just saying.
All comment
You don't have to.
sections,
You don't have to. I mean, you don't have to be. I mean, of course, anonymity if that's what you prefer. If you're fucking Batman, then
Yeah.
sure, email us.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
and-
don't be going our email and sending pictures of your wang or anything. Saying, "Oh, what do you guys think?" Like,
I mean,
actually
we
send, like,
might
real-
rate it. We might rate it and send it back to you.
Yeah,
yeah. Or we might
And
do
we might put it on Instagram also. Just saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We
yeah.
will put
please
it
do
on
that.
our
like on
Instagram page.
Instagram.
Yeah,
So
we'll
again-
call it the Great Girth Test.
Exactly. You know, either the chode or nothing. It can only be one or two things. To finish it up, again, our email is thoughtgang65@gmail.com. Again, thoughtgang, THOTGANG 65@gmail.com. Instagram, Amog, what's it again? And Twitter and Facebook, what is that again?
Thoughts podcast. If I'm not mistaken, it's pretty much in the link below. It's
Yes.
THOUGHT_podcast. So
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
so
guys-
definitely give our Instagram and Twitter a follow.
Yes,
we really
please.
appreciate that.
Yeah,
we
and
really appreciate it.
We also would really appreciate subscribers, more so the numbers. So just hit that button. It doesn't take too long, and
Yeah.
it really supports the increase in the show's popularity.
yes.
Mm.
And again,
Yes.
if we're gonna work more on that goal, and hopefully next episode we'll have a more defined goal, what we want, and we want to hit it by, so that you can continue to push it every episode. Please tell your friends. Let your mom listen to the show if you want to. But please.
Dude, my mom listens to our shows. That's the fucked up part. My mom listens to our shows, and I think
She's gonna love this
judge-
episode.
What's
She's gonna
her-
love this episode.
Yeah,
She-
what's,
she-
what's
she
your
did-
response?
Well, she was like, why is like, I think the first episode when Benny, like you were away from the mic and she couldn't hear. She's like, who is that guy? I can't hear him. He's just not talking really loudly. Tell him to speak loudly. It's like that's the only thing. And then I think after I think I don't know whether she's tuned in for the next couple of episodes or she has. But yeah, my aunt on the other hand was like, she went like full damage control. She was like, when I said the N word in the first episode, she's like, yeah, listen, you're just starting your career. I don't want it to like this thing. She's like, oh, I like, it's not good that your friends are white. I'm like, none of my friends are white on this show.
Yeah, we probably sound
They're
like
all-
all people right now.
I said they just sound liberal. They're not.
We sound very educated.
Yeah, we sound white. Oh.
All right, but other than that, have a good night, good morning to whenever you listen to this. Hope you guys
Stay
have a
safe,
wonderful
wash
day.
your
Stay
hands.
safe. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Touch my face. And bye bye.
Yeah. Good night, guys.
Bye, guys. Good night, guys.
Sis loves you.
Peace.